Are you getting tired of healing? Does it feel like you're going around in cycle after cycle? Does it feel like you're hitting obstacle after obstacle? Do you question what it's all for? Does it feel like you're close to union only to be hit with something else that you need to heal? Well, this is the thing. It does feel like a never-ending story, but this is for more than union. It's also for inner union, but it's also for divine mission. Remember this. You're a part of the wave that goes through all the hard work so the next person doesn't have to. So in fairness, I know we're going through a lot of work and a lot of upheaval, but it will be worth it, not just for divine union, but also to be able to help the next wave of twin flames to get to this place easier. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. So yeah, we're part of a lot of us are part of the second wave. I'm like, I can't remember the dates offhand, but a lot of us are going through the energy. Anyone that's going through the separation, the back and forth energy, this really hard, intense healing, we're often the second wave, and we're going through this because we have to, because it's for the future of humanity. Like, I know I've heard this so many times, like, you know, oh, it's hard. It's, you know, I'm doing all the work and nothing's happening. I'm going to give up on this relationship. I'm going to give up on this connection. But if you give up on your twin flame, you're effectively saying you're giving up on yourself. You're literally saying, I'm not going to do the inner work. I'm going to call in a soulmate and I'm not going to do any fucking work. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's like literally saying, I'd rather stay stuck in the matrix and I'd rather not do any of this. But, you know, one of the things that really, really pushes me forward on my healing journey, even separate to my twin flame journey, is if I do this work, if I break the generational fucking cycle, it means my future children do not have to suffer the way I did. Do you know, this is it. And like, it doesn't even have to be my future children. It's the future of fucking humanity. If you can, like, can you imagine yourself, right? If you just picture yourself, the childhood that you went through, the things that you suffered. You know, for me, I was abandoned as a child. There was a lot, you know, there was violence, there was alcoholism, there was all that shit, right? And then obviously there's the toxic relationships I went through. But like, start with the child. Start with your inner child. You see a child standing in front of you. Yourself when you were young and what you suffered. The pain, the trauma, whatever it was. You know what I mean? Watching a child go through that. And I know we didn't watch it, we suffered it ourselves. But if you separate that for a minute and you see the shit that your inner child went through, but that you went through, it's fucking heartbreaking. It really is. And I know our parents suffered, and the parents before that, and so on and so forth. They went through it worse and worse. But they didn't have the means to heal. Whereas we fucking do. We have the opportunity, we have the resources, you know what I mean, right in front of us. Through our phone, we can heal for free. You know, by researching, but also going in and doing the inner work. So to be able to actually say, if I can prevent one child from suffering the way that I did, then I'm going to do my inner work. And then when it comes to the twin flame connection, the twin flame journey, we're not just healing for union. We're healing for the future of humanity. We have been led to believe, and it bugs the shit out of me. We have to marry for security. This is why all back in the day, all these women married fucking men 20 years fucking older. Because you have to marry a provider. You can't marry for love. And this is why women were treated like fucking shit. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, men were just, you know, choosing a fuck pig or a fucking somebody to bear them kids and who they could use whenever they fucking wanted. You know, a lot of relationships and connections were not connections at all. They were literally settling. They were stability. They were security. Like, do you know what I mean? And the whole aspiration of, we need to find a farmer to marry or a doctor to marry because I need somebody to look after me. Like, there was never ever this true soul love. It was so rare. Like, I remember growing up in such a toxic environment that my model of love was it was horrendous. And the town I lived in, there were so many couples that they looked at each other like they wanted to kill each other. So, like, I didn't know what love was. I didn't see what love was. I just, like, this isn't love. Do you know what I mean? And then I started to witness, I became friends with some people and they were in really nice relationships. And I used to like, whoa, this is alien relationship here. Like, these people love each other. And I was like, oh my God, there is such a thing as love. And, you know, this was just before I discovered I was a twin flame. And I was like, I don't care how long I have to wait. I'm going to do my fucking healing. Because I realised at this stage that I was repeating patterns, and that I was attracting narcissistic relationships. And I was like, you know, I'm not fucking doing that again. I'm fucking staying single until I can find this nice love. And then I discovered I was a twin flame, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely not getting into a relationship again until I find my twin flame. And that's when I started to dedicate myself to my healing and my growth. And it's so fucking hard. I've been on the awakening journey for donkey's years at this stage. And, you know, I've been on the twin flame journey for a long time as well. And I only met my twin flame 2 years ago. Like, I've said this before, actually. You know, I was on my awakening journey since 2018. So I went through the roller coaster ride. I was on a catalyst journey then, and I went through the roller coaster ride for the twin flame connection as well. So it was just like really, really intense healing over and over and over and over again. So many dark nights of the soul, so many pain. Oh my God. And then I met my twin flame, and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. I have so much work done already. This is going to be so fucking easy. No, it wasn't. No, it isn't. Do you know what I mean? We're still in separation. Like, you know, we've been on and off through separation over the last couple of years. And like, my heart has awakened so many fucking times, and a heart awakening is effectively your heart fucking breaking open. And it's happened more than fucking once. Do you know what I mean? So I've been in such intense pain on and off through my, since I met him physically as well. So it is literally cycle after cycle. And like, you know, it's like a never ending story. It's like you're in the highs of life, and you're like thinking, oh, union is nearly here. I feel the love. And then something triggers you, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain again. Do you know what I mean? And you're purging all over again, and you just keep going, oh. And I mentioned this analogy before. You're climbing the top of the mountain, right? And you cannot see the fucking peak because of all the clouds. And you're fucking blood, sweat, and tears you're climbing, you're crawling up the mountain at this stage. And eventually you see the clouds dissipate, and you're like, ooh, the peak. And then you get to the peak, and then you realize there's another fucking mountain that you have to climb. And it just keeps happening like that over and over again. And I can understand how easy it is for people to say, I'm going to give up here. I'm not doing this anymore. And I've never gotten there, thank God. Do you know what I mean? That I've always felt, I'm not going this far to just come this far. You know what I mean? And that's effectively it. Like, I'm not doing all this fucking work for nothing. I will do it until the end of time if I have to get into divine union. I will do this work because I'm not half-assing it. I'm going to get there. I'm not after going through all this pain and all this shit for nothing. So my reward will be fucking divine union. I don't give a shit what happens. That's my goal. But what's bigger than that? Bigger than that is inner union, okay? So what, like, just pretend, I don't want to pretend, just say for a second, we'll put divine union on the side. So just you know, if that didn't happen, which it will, it fucking will, right? If that didn't happen, you get inner union. And what is inner union? It's the healing done. Like, you know, before we started healing, we're carrying around the trauma from past relationships, from our childhood, and from fucking past lives. And we're carrying that shit around over and over again. So this intense healing, it's fucked up, but it's a lot better than carrying that shit. It's a lot better than attracting those toxic relationships. It's a lot better than living a life of dull darkness, bloody black and white, living with blinkers, living in your trauma bubble. So no matter what, the inner work is for you. It's for you to become whole within. Like, I never even liked myself. If somebody did ask me to say I love myself, and I just started crying, I said, I can't do that. That's a lie. Do you know what I mean? And like, literally, it took me a long time to actually love myself. To love myself unconditionally, that's a bonus and a half. I will continue healing to get to that state of sovereignty. Do you know? And I'm getting there. And I know I'm still continuously fucking healing. I don't think healing will ever end. And we'll still have healing to do when we're in union anyway. But that alone, to find that unconditional love within yourself, that's worth its weight in gold. So why would you give up on that? You know, you're saying you're giving up on your twin flame connection. You're actually giving up on your healing, your growth, and your self-love. You don't want to do that either. And then there's not just inner union and divine union. There's helping the whole fucking world and the future of humanity to go from those toxic, fucked up family dynamics, relationship dynamics, this abuse, this control, this inequality, this codependent energy of relationships. Do you know what I mean? This abuse, this violence, all of it. You're here to literally say, no. I'm breaking that fucking cycle so the next generation doesn't have to do it. That's huge. That's fucking huge. That's huge fucking mungus. Do you know what I mean? That's massive. That's bigger than you, and that's bigger than divine union. So, you know, like I've said this already, like literally you're looking at a child and you're saying to this child, I will never let, like your inner child, how you suffered, that's not right, that's not fair. And now you're looking at your future child and you're saying, you do not have to suffer the way I did. You get to love and feel love. You get to understand unconditional love. You get to understand magic. You get to understand what it's like to live without trauma. To do that for children, to do that for another child, to do that for the future of humanity, or even to do it for another adult human. Like, I've been through so much shit in my life. If I can turn around and help somebody get to where where they need to be quicker. Do you know what I mean? If I can actually prevent, like, my healing journey has so fucking long. So long. Do you know what I mean? I've done it all on my own, and it took me a long time to do it all on my own. But, like, I can support the next person and make sure that their journey from pain into power is shorter, easier, supported. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is why we're here. This is divine mission. To change the way people live, to change the way people love, to change the way people think. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, we might say, whoa me, why is this happening? But it's not. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. It took me a long time to realise that. You know what I mean? I kept looking back on my past and I was like, why did that happen to me? Why did I suffer? Why is everything so hard? And why did I have to go through all this? And why did I have to leave everyone? Why did everything have to leave me and all this kind of shit? But then I was like, no. This happened for me. This is my purpose on this planet. It took me a long time to discover my purpose, but I really realised all the pain I went through is my purpose, so that I can help the next person. And that's why you're here to do it as well. You're not here just for divine union. You're not here just for inner union. You're here for divine mission. You're here to change humanity. So instead of saying, I don't have the energy to do this, say you do it for the next person, because oftentimes if we do things for others, we'll do it tomorrow. Whereas if we do things for others, we'll do it yesterday. Whereas if we do things for ourselves, it'll be like, maybe Monday. You know what I mean? And it never fucking happens. So, treat your healing. Not, like, obviously you need to treat yourself as if you're the other person anyway. Treat yourself how you would treat others. But do this for the bigger picture. You know what I mean? And, like, you know, you're going to be rewarded anyway. Divine union will come because you're doing the inner work. Divine union will come because you deserve it. And I keep saying this to myself. We haven't come this far to just come this far. We didn't suffer toxic shit our whole fucking lives to not get happily ever after at the end of it. I know it's hard, and I know we keep going after mountain after mountain after mountain, but you will get the reward at the end. So don't give up on your twin flame. Don't give up on yourself, and do not give up on your mission. This is so much bigger than you think it is. So just stay strong. This will be all worth it in the end. I know it will. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. And nothing more than to help you on your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box. And I'm hosting an inner child healing workshop. It's a 90-minute workshop on Wednesday, the 4th of March at 6 p.m. Ireland UK time. Anyone going through fear of rejection, fear of abandonment on the twin flame journey, we all have an inner child. So any kind of dynamics where you want to heal your unworthiness wound, heal your fear of rejection and abandonment, or anything to just find that love within yourself again. Because I think inner child work is so important for this journey. So important. So if you want information for that, please comment below.